What's going on, Hope City? My name is Dane. I am part of the youth ministry and the young adults ministry here at Hope City. And happy to be giving you guys this daily Devo today. We are going to be going over last week's message from Genesis 30 from Matt. So if you guys have your Bibles, we're going to be in Genesis 30. But some of my main takeaways that I got from this message was just talking about how Jacob's flocks are multiplying and, how he's shepherding the flock. And one thing that kind of stood out to me about what Matt was saying was how the lowest of the lower were considered the shepherds and that they were the ones shepherding the flock. So we think of David and we think of how David saw God as his shepherd. So when people were tending sheep, at David's level was always the youngest brothers. So they were kind of the low of the low. But that's just kind of one thing that stood out to me was like, is God your shepherd? Or do you see God as your shepherd? Are you following him? Because he is our shepherd and we are his sheep. And then kind of also just going over how when we put God or we put everything into God's hands instead of our own hands, that's when we'll know that, things will flourish. We shouldn't have our trust in our own desires or our own treasures or whatever it is. We need to submit that all back to God and trust it in his hands because it's better for him to have control over it instead of us because we could ruin that blessing. And also one thing that also stood out to me is holding on to the promises of God is enough. We take things for granted. We're going to mess up. We're not going to have that feeling of gratitude. We need to have that feeling of gratitude to, feel the Lord's presence, holding on to the promises of God, and just knowing that what he did for us is enough. So we should not take anything for granted. And then also my last point that I wrote down was, are you ready for God to enter? He's waiting on you. Let me know when you're ready. So that's just kind of, when we finally say yes to Jesus, we can't just surrender part of our lives to him. We need to surrender our full lives to him. And Matt always says, does God have every key to every compartment to your heart? Do you have keys that you're hiding away? So we need to submit all of it to God, full surrender to him, and just trust in his ways, not our ways. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Love you guys.